Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AOR Hungarian Grand Prix. Here we have our first ever side-by-side comparison of two of my qualifying laps. On the left we have my second fly, which is a lot cleaner than my actual pole lap, which we have on the right, particularly in the first and second sector. You see there, take a bit of grass on the right hand side, which is a little bit slower actually, as both the red on the previous time. But you can see the left is actually slightly in front this time with a bit cleaner first sector, and I'm about to see a bit cleaner second sector as well. Much better way over those curbs and that chicane there. But now I really start to banzai the lap on the right since I have nothing to lose, and that actually pays off. And despite being still down at the second sector, I do claw it back in these final three corners. A lot tidier exit there, particularly in this second last corner, not catching that inside curve, which sent me into a little bit of a slide in the left hand lap, and I've actually probably already overtaken it by then, very close there on the exit of that corner, but ultimately a little bit quicker in the second one for a 17.6 and a 6/10 advantage in qualifying. And then we have 7 out of 8 pole positions. Pretty happy with that one. My best ever lap at this circuit coming in that qualifying session. There again we have Ferraris near us, one on each of the first and second row, and also Nozem, who is the highest placed championship contender who's contending this race. So we're going to have to try and beat him. And off we go. Not very good tracks in there. Chris has made a much better start. He's already passed me into the run down to turn 1. Hopefully we can hang it around the outside. Break it a bit late, but we've been tapped and I don't know who that was. But then we get a bit squeezed there and I decide to back out so I don't crash into Supernova and Tio there. No, even again run very deep at turn 2, so that's my mistake, and I've lost another position there to Woo-Wah, who chops me a little bit, but I think that may have been a bit of lag. I probably was further back on his screen. That allows me, that drops me back another 2 positions behind my fellow Australian Penguin Dance now, down in 9th position. And now I've backed off a lot so I don't have any contact there. But then there's a collision there, and that's a horrendous collision between Cookie and Penguin Dance. And that's really ruined their races. I think they had damage from that. And now up into 7th position. Not great since we started on pole position, but at least it's not the 9th place we had a couple of corners ago. Trying to work over the McLaren of Woo-Wah now, because the top 6 are breaking away. I get very sideways there. Hopefully I can make a move on the straight. Yes, we got a nice setup there. Oh, I get very sideways on the exit. These run wide, so pretty similar exit quality. And it looks like we're going to be able to make a move on the inside. Yes, he's given us a lot of room. And we've slowed it up into 6th position. A couple of laps later, we've caught up to Supernova and Tio's battle, but we know it's very difficult to pass here. So I was originally planning to pad on lap 5, as you can see on the right hand side there, but lap 3 puts me on a 4-stop, as I was going to do anyway, but a 4-stop for 8 lap stints, each on primes, instead of 7 and 8s, which I was going to use instead. Crucially, we come out right in front of Penguin Dance's battle, and that gives us a lot of room to catch up to the cars in front. And the first one we catch is Hard Joe. Again, very sideways on that 3rd last turn there. And the Dutchman, is he going to pit? No, not going to pit, so I'm going to have to try and make a move here in the DRS straight. Definitely be within DRS. Yep, it's activated there, and there's a lot of cars in the pits as we set the fastest lap. And all those positions there, up to 5th position. So we've already taken 1 position back from the undercut at the end of lap 3. Woo-Wah hasn't pitted yet, and Don Silva hasn't pitted yet either. here is we were, who we've caught up an entire pit stop, sorry, before he'd actually made his first pit stop. And oh god, that was a strange calamitous collision, but at least we didn't lose any end plates or anything. And there's another 2 cars in the pits there. So after 3 laps, the undercut has taken us from 6th position to 2nd position, and with Don Silva right behind and the rest of that battle falling back, the advantage has swung towards Chris, who I didn't manage to undercut, Don Silva and myself. At this point, Chris is looking very good because Don Silva would have had to stack behind him if he pitted on lap 5, 1 extra lap, and the undercut afforded Chris a larger lead than he had before the first round. Now we've made 2 stops and Supernova's made 1, and we're going to have to try and make a move unless he wants to pit this lap. We get a pebble sector there and we're overzealous through that sweeper there. We've got a lot of pace advantage on these newer tyres. We have to wait so there's no rash manoeuvres going on. Ooh, almost nibbled a bit of his rear wing off there. And thankfully he's entered the pits. And we'll be able to move up into 4th position and set off after Nick No Name. We can't catch at the end of the following lap. And does he pit? No, it looks like he's going off for a 3 stop, as I predict the Ferraris will be, having not pitted yet. And they're in 1st and 2nd at the moment. And not too difficult to pass Nick there with the DRS and the superior traction and the current tyre set. Bit of a pinch of the brakes there, but it looks like 3rd's my minimum position now, seeing as I've made extra pit stops in some of these guys. And there's Chris, who was almost 10 seconds up the road before the previous pit stop. So there we have it, we've actually undercut into the net lead, and here is the lead now. We've actually managed to so far undercut from 6th position to 1st, and still a pit stop down. So effectively half a pit stop down on Don Silva and a full pit stop down on Chris. I managed to hold Chris behind for the rest of that stint though, which is going to be helpful to try and catch him later since the gap is a bit less. And here we have the 3rd pit stop. Emerged in 3rd position, which is also crucial. No cars to pass between myself and Don Silva. A couple of fastest laps there aids in the decreasing of the margin. And this is a big moment. Tio disconnects as he has to go and get some pizza. But Chris has a frozen screen and disconnects from the lead. Not sure if I would have been able to catch him on this strategy, having had the first lap calamity. But here is his teammate, who is now in the lead and who we have caught. And we're going to have to battle for the win in this Hungarian Grand Prix. We have now actually caught up a full pit stop. We've done 1 more pit stop than Don Silva. We both still need to make 1 more. And he's going to make his pit stop right now. We have 2 more laps on this set of tyres, and hopefully that'll allow us a better set at the end of the race. And he should get an undercut into a bigger lead, but we are hoping to close that down and effect a pass in the final stint of the race. Again, emerging in 2nd position, no cars between us and Don Silva. The fastest lap of the race helps us to try and close the margin to the Ferrari driver. And there it is, less than a second now. He has gone a bit wide there. So now the battle has started. Lap 30, we've got 6 laps to do it. We've got another purple sector, but we can't really do anything about it. An overtake in this sector, very difficult to make a clean overtake with no risk. So I'm thinking I'm just going to wait for the DRS straight. He's getting a little bit ragged there on those curbs. Hopefully doesn't make a mistake which costs us our front wing or anything like that. Nick No Name currently in 3rd. quite a distance behind. Very close there. Need to brake earlier just in case there's a problem. But it's 30 seconds back to the third position. So the Ferrari team, unfortunate not to have one of their drivers also on the podium position, but having great pace as well as Caterham here. And now DRS opportunity. We did get very sideways onto the straight though, so that's going to compromise any attempt we have here. Going to have a little look, but Don had that covered quite nicely, and great that curb sent us a bit sideways. And this next DRS opportunity as well, it's going to be too far behind. Although there is a bit of curb that catches Don, he goes a bit wide there. We're going to curves abuse it down to this sweeper down here. Hope to catch him unawares. And oh dear, there's a bit of contact there. And he's actually managed to come around the outside. That could have been a fantastic move if that worked. But we've held it with the superior traction of the tyres at their tyre life stage. And we've nailed that chicane as well. That's a bit of a gem there. And now we're managing to get away. Hopefully make that more than a second before the DRS zone. And we've in fact, increased the lead to about 6 seconds by the end. And that's it. 2 wins in a row. Don Silva, fantastic drive for second, and Nozem manages to come third. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks at Spa. I've been Jacko. See you next time.